Well, welcome back to the bush camp or bush camp shelter, and I'm here because I'm trying to redeem myself from last week when I called Index on this particular bush camp that I did last week because of the weather conditions, and they did get bordering on, too extreme to be out in the woodlands. We'll have a little chat about that because I think it's worth a little discussion and a little bit of the thought and analysis of why I decided to come out, and also why I decided to call end of play. So we'll have a little chat about that, but it's going to be a nice relaxing one. Weather conditions are looking good to be out in the woods, not too windy, not going to be too cold, and we don't have rain forecast. It's only a 10% chance of showers. I think I can weather that out here. So it's pretty much the same setup as last time. I'm going to actually process some of that wood up to get rid of it. It's been piled up. It's off the floor, a majority of it, and that will see me through. As you can see, I've got enough wood over there, I think, to get me through this evening and tomorrow morning. I've collected some stones because I just want to make just that little bit better of a fire pit, even though I'm using a bowl and it's not going to be ashes going onto the ground. I'm determined to set it up just that little bit better than last time. I've brought gas as my backup. My tools are over in my seat, hurricane lantern, and I've got my Bergens and day sack either side of the shelter. I've got some emergency wood, which I always do keep stood up there, letting air circulate and dry over it, or air movement over it to just dry it out that little bit more. And I've got my ground sheet down. I'm not putting my bed in or anything down. I'll wait till later on. And obviously that doesn't give the insects, bugs and creepy crawlies and anything that might want to share a little bit of body warmth with me tonight to get into my sleeping system. I can well do without that. So we're going to go for a little walk and talk, and I'll show you a little bit of this area, and we'll have a discussion about the winds and weather conditions and why I called end of play. But it really doesn't need to be stated too hard. Hard winds you're going to get, or strong winds, and going up to gusting gale force and things like that, you're going to get trees or limbs come down. You don't have to search too hard on the internet, probably even in your local areas, for people that have died when trees or branches have come down on them. It is a fact of life, and I'm just going to quickly show you some that have come down over here. And these have been down for possibly 5 years in this particular location. But unfortunately for me, there's trees nearby, and I'll show you those again, which have come down more recently. And they're big ones. They're the type of ones which it wouldn't be worth scraping you up off the floor for. Right, first one, it's like actually shattered right the way through the trunk, where obviously two have branched out. And as you can see, this is probably 12 months old, but it's gone right the way down through there. Snapped off here, lifted the ground beneath it when it went. But camp is only probably 50 meters down through there. You're starting to get the drift that it doesn't mean that these are going over a long way away. And you can see all over the ground here, there's branches, there's litter. It's absolutely full of stuff that has come down. And here you go again. I'm only probably 60 meters from camp, and you can see like a domino effect of one big one going over and taking a load out. And they're hung up in the trees up there. There's probably 100-foot reach from where it's gone over right the way back into this piece of woodland. Now, we don't have giant badgers here digging away, creating these big heaves. There's a depression there. There was obviously a tree. This is the remnants of when it heaved and it brought a load of soil up as it went over. The tree's long since gone, but the ground here is pockmarked with historic trees that have gone over. There's no tree left now, so that when that went over, is anybody's guess. But you can see here, it's gone over, and there's another one over there. But there you go. And I don't think, yeah, I'm not recommending you ever do this, but you can see these here are being pushed over by the weight of the trees pushing against it. They haven't got long to go. So where I selected to actually, make the bush camp is in a reasonably sheltered area, but as I come out of here, you can quite evidently see I'm in or on the top of a valley. But there is higher ground behind me and in front of those trees over there. But as you can see, the wind hammers through here and it hits these trees here. And there it is. So you can imagine one of these coming down. And you might feel safe because you've built your camp 50 metres inside the wood line. That ain't going to stop this tree reaching you and hitting you. I'm walking through here again and I'm only, well, I'll give you a scale. You can see it there. It's gone over there. And these have gone over here. These here are probably, 3 or 4 years old, gone over. But you can see they've yet reached right into the woodland. And you can see it's brought a load of soil up. There's the heave. Well, see the tree on the right? You can see that leaning heavily. Well, you can also see its partner there on the left. Magnificent tree. And guess what? Bush camp is just 5 metres away from that. That one there wasn't leaning when I came down here and did my recce. So how about that, folks? Well, guys, you can possibly see a tree gone over there. Actually, it's just clinging by an inch to its life there, and you're actually sat on one now. But how did I come to make such a mistake? Well, quite simply, I looked at one weather report, put my complete faith in it, and I looked and thought that I could get through the moderate wind conditions it was predicting till the point around about midnight it was going to drop off and tail off even more. It didn't. As you saw in the video, the wind speed continued to go up to the point, I was trying to actually sleep and the gusts were waking me up. I could hear things thumping down on the ground. It was time to call end of play. I did look at another report which said that it was going to be gusting to 37 miles an hour, and I can assure you that that was probably the average temperature. Gusts were well in excess of that. I would probably put another 10 miles an hour on that. The trees were literally bending over even in the dark when I was looking at them. So it was time to call end of play. You've got to understand, it's not just the wind. If the ground is saturated to the point the root system can't hold on anymore, and then coupled with the winds, that will take it over. So obviously wet ground conditions can help them go over. Disease, bad management of the trees, not leaving the healthiest ones to grow and allowing trees that are like lopsided or too heavy on one side. Even if the management of the trees, like they've been harvesting on one side of the valley, exposing a newer side, those trees might not have established hard enough in the ground, so now they can't withstand the wind conditions they're now being buffeted with. You've got wildlife, and that may sound stupid, but wildlife can destabilize a tree. Digging in around it or burrowing underneath, they can be the cause of a tree going over. There's a multitude of things that could cause a tree going over. You can eliminate that by doing a recce and looking around you where you're building your camp or you're going to camp. But ultimately, high winds, you do not want to be in a forest. I made the call to extract out because, quite simply, like I was saying to you, I made an error by staying longer than I should have. But I was, you know, relying on that weather report that it was going to start dropping off, and it didn't. So I feel I made the right choice. And just by what I've shown you here, I'm hoping you can see, you know, it was a decision well made. Live to come back and do it again. Let's face it, if I had this one here come down on me, and I'm going to show you where that one went, hey, I might not be here talking to you now. So yeah, it was a good decision. So this is the tree you've just been sat on while I've been talking to you there, and as you can see, it's a fair tree. And guess what? It's rolling up that way there. And that big one over there is the actual bush camp shelter. This one obviously didn't come down when it was gusty when I exited the woodland, but it just shows, you know, and I've got others along here, which if they went over, they would have hit me. So I feel, yeah, I don't even have to justify it. I made the right decision. And I'm hoping I'm kind of making it clear to yourselves. Live to come back another day. People have obviously been walking under this one. But yeah, let's go around here. I'll take you up here. You can obviously see, oh, this is really boggy here. It's probably half the reason these are going over. Right, he's still alive, he's green, but I shouldn't imagine he's going to be alive a lot longer. Right, you can see the heave, and you see that cavity. Look at the size of those roots. Incidentally, if a tree's gone over, don't be in too big a hurry to go into, because, you know, into the actual heave where it's actually root ball system, because sometimes trees have been known to, you know, spring back. But there you go. Right, let's get back to bush camp and start thinking about just chilling out. Well, I've got my coffee. No, cappuccino, and it's one of those instant ones from a recognised chain or brand that you see on the motorways and in the high streets, and they are quite addictive actually. So I'm just going to try it. It's not too bad. It's not quite as close to the like I said, the store ones, but I'm too old to deny myself life's little pleasures. I'm 53 after all, so hey, why not? And it's the first time I've ever had instant cappuccino in the woods. Cheers. The wood is a bit damp. I've picked the best bits of dry twigs, and I think there's some bits of this wood which looks like the internal bit has a lot of oil or resin. Not full fat wood, but there's enough in it that should really get this roaring. It's off anyway. Right then, now my fire's died down where I can actually use it. I did have flames up here. I'm actually going to just cook up some bacon. This is going to be simple. Just some bacon, a baguette. I've brought along some chocolate and nibbles for the rest of the evening, but this will suffice me. And bacon in the woods, it just hits the mark. I mean, there is nothing that tastes better than bacon outdoors and cooked on a campfire. So let's get to it. Right, get that down. I don't have to worry about warping my mess tins. They're as warped as a boy racer's car that's been in about 10 accidents. Well, it's 3:30, 4 o'clock or thereabouts, and the light is beginning to go. It may not look it, but it's beginning to fade quite quick. And if you're in the northern hemisphere, you just know that, you accept it, and you just get on with it. So, but it soon comes around. It'll soon be spring, and it'll soon be, getting light to 8, 9 o'clock. Then in the summer, 10. I mean, I've surfed all the way up to about 11 o'clock at night on some days. But in any case, I've got a Thatcher's apple and blackcurrant, and I've only got 2. I haven't had a drink for over a week now, and it's not about getting leathered. It's just about really just enjoying the moment of fire and being in the woods. And what a difference from that time I came down here the last bush camp and tried to grit my teeth and get through it. So much more enjoyable. But I'm going to enjoy this. My bacon smells absolutely gorgeous. This feels nice on the tongue. Yeah, I'm enjoying this, and I've just seen a deer run through the trees over there. They're so fleeting and so quick. You just catch it through the corner of your eyes. It's a shadow and it's gone. But yeah, I'm going to get on with this bacon. Well, I've just checked the weather report. Naturally I was going to. Not that I place a lot of faith. I'm going to interpret it as I want to, I think. But it's due to get down into the single figures, not freezing, but it's due to cause mist and fog. And yeah, this valley that I'm in is heavily susceptible to it, so there's every chance tomorrow morning I'll wake up to big thick fog banks in this wood, so that'll be interesting. But I suppose the natural progression for this bushcraft shelter is to see if it survives Christmas. The kids and my wife and you know, myself are going to come down and let the kids play around here. We're going to do a coffee and have like a family few hours down here. But if it survives, I'll decide how I'm going to play the game with it down here. But the natural progression is to try and find a new location and perhaps do a different variant on this particular shelter. But yeah, I'm just watching the fire. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'll let you have a look. So I'm going to continue with my evening, and I'll check in with you in the morning, and let's see if we've got that fog or not. You place a bet on it. Let's see if the weather forecast is right. Yeah, so what I forgot to show you is, if you haven't clicked on any of my videos before, what inside this bushcraft shelter looks like. Well, I'm actually in it. I'm going to get my head down. I'm actually quite tired now, to be honest with you. But I'll just give you a little walk around, and you know, you can see what it's all about. But instantly coming in here, I'm out of that wind, and temperatures have dropped. And I really don't believe the weather forecast. It's definitely colder than what they're saying. But I think if you've placed a bet on fog and mist, you may be a winner. Don't quote me on that, but you may be. But I'll let you have a little look around. So I'm actually inside the actual shelter, and I just had a quick thought that somebody may have not seen the previous video and maybe wondering what it's actually like once you start getting inside the shelter. So I'll do that once again and let you guys have a look. But it is plenty of room in here, and once again, I'm really warm in here now. I was getting a little chilly out there. I don't believe the weather report. I've got a sneaky suspicion it's going to get a lot colder than what they're saying. Last of my fire out there is just beginning to go. That's just embers out there now. But I'll turn you around and you can see roughly how I'm set up here. Right, I've got a day sack there, boots over here. I'm going to bring that in just in case there is drizzle, because I don't want it to get wet. Looking down, you can see how it's been constructed, and all the logs have actually been knitted together, and you've got the support strut there. I've got my torch lodged in there. And you can see it coming down there. Plenty of room for my feet. Ground sheet there. I've got my roll mat there, which is doubled up. Obviously bivvy bag, sleeping bag. Lantern. I'm not sleeping with that on. That'll be going off for safety. But you can see here how it's been constructed. Right, and I'm using my actual Bergen as a pillow with a coat, and I'll shuffle this down. I've got to go out and turn that lantern off. Oh. So yeah, I'm getting a bit tired now, and I'm going to knock it on the head, and I will catch you tomorrow. But I thought you might as well just see a little bit of what it's like in here. But I think it's definitely going to be colder than what they say. Right, cheers. Well, it's 7 o'clock and I'm getting a ride out of here at 9, so I'm going to get up and get some coffee, and I've got a instant porridge, so nothing, you know, overly extravagant to eat or set up. I shan't put a fire on because obviously it's too close to me going now. So yeah, let's get up. But we have wind out there. We don't have mist or fog. So yet again, the weather forecast was wrong. You may just be able to, it's not strong. It's just like a very, I don't know, just a moderate breeze coming through. But it's enough to rustle the leaves. Nothing to get concerned about like the other time. Right, let's get going. Those 2 hours will soon go. It did get actually quite cold last night. Right, okay, let's get going. Well, it does look like we got mist and possibly fog. I can't see that well for too far to actually make a decision on what it is. If it was real thick fog, I wouldn't be able to see the trees further out. But we've definitely got mist. There's droplets in the air. I can feel it. I can feel it landing on my face. I might just have a quick look over the valley behind me. But yeah, it's not rain, but there is mist. Well, we do have a very light mist and fog bank hanging around. It's not really thick, but it's enough to you know, stop you getting a really good view of the opposite side of the valley. You can just see it swirling around. It's not thick, but yeah, we did actually have some fog and mist. Well, I've got my porridge and I've got my coffee, so it ain't a bad start to the morning, and in this location. Keeping my voice down because people will have finished for Christmas. You know, people who've broke up leading up to the Christmas period, tradesmen, school kids, things like that. So yeah, I've still got to be a little bit cautious and quiet. I don't want people to realise that I'm in here camping. So yeah, we've completed it and it was successful. And I suppose you could argue, if you look back through my videos, you'd be thinking, is it ever going to happen? But it has. We've made it happen and I'm pleased about it. I've now got to figure out what I'm going to do, as in where I do another one, and on top of that, what style or format. You know, bigger, different shape, I don't know, but that's for another day to think about. But I've got to finish packing up. I've got to get out of here, and basically all that's left to be said is take care, stay safe, and I hope to catch you guys out on the trail. And I've got a load of crows circling above me. Right, all the best.